I'm gonna hit that button. Off day for me to be live and streaming, but I decided that I really wanted to make a push to get this book done, get these pencils done for this comic this week. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I also have some other things that I wanted to get through today. So the first is, and I'll flip over to the other camera here. Yes, I got a new webcam. So, well, and I got it a while ago. I just haven't used it. It's a C270 HD webcam by Logitech. I need something other than this camcorder that I've got right here. So that's why I picked this up and decided, yeah, it's time to, I'll experiment. And then I opened it up and I'm like, oh, this is not exactly what I was envisioning this to be. So we'll go ahead and pop this open. And like I was expecting a mounting fixture so I can actually like attach it to a tripod. No, that does not exist on this camera. So yeah, see what I'm talking about. So you know how other cameras will have like a mounting screw, I guess, or something. Like it'll be something here that something will screw into so you can mount it on a tripod. This does not have that. So I'm thinking to myself, oh crap, I have to take this back. I can't really use this for what I wanted to. And I thought about it and I'm like, well, maybe I'll just have to use it in a different way. It's not that I'm averse to taking something back to the store and, you know, getting my money back. It's more that if I make a purchase, you know, I had an intention for that purchase, so I'm just going to try and use it for that. And if I can't use it, then yes, I will take it back. I still have time to take this back and get something else. So I'm going to try that. So what I want to do before I do anything else is to see if this one will actually work at all. So we're going to play around with this for a few minutes. Thread this through here. Oops, that's actually not where I want that to be. Like at all. That's where I want it to be. Right up in there. At the top. So how about the surprise 60-degree weather this morning? That was not expected at all. I get up and I go outside to hop in my car and I get in, I'm like, why am I so cold? Point of note, I do get cold pretty easily. So thinking to myself, okay, did we just fall into fall already? It's not meant to be the pun that it was. No, it's just a 60-degree morning. I thought it was me. Alright, give me a minute, let me plug this in. Alright, so we have that is now there. Now we get to find it here. I'm just gonna do the thing right here. This will let me know if I've got the right thing. So alright, which one is it going to give me? Anyway, so, you know, just randomly cold. So, like the true me that I am, turn the heater on. I was so cold this morning. It was just the wildest thing. So, that was a thing that happened. Ah, there it is. Okay. Ha! Look at that. Okay. Wow, I didn't realize that my closet door is open. Close that up. Don't need you all seeing my unmentionables. So. Alright, so we'll just put that there. Hello. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's a much better camera setup, I think. I like how crisp it is. I like how sharp it is. It's actually getting like a really decent light. I'm gonna move this over here. Kind of got this Inception thing going on here. Reference for a movie I haven't seen before. So yeah, we now have that. That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna rename this thing. C920. Okay, yep. And then this. So I guess I'll keep this one. I like it. The next thing is so if I'm getting rid of the camcorder that just gives me blurry imaging, I have to make sure that at least one of these webcams can actually take really sharp video of what I'm working on, because that's the point of the new webcam is that one or the other is going to be used in a way that allows me to actually get the recording quality that I need. And this is the C270 HD. Ah. And of course, I get into work this morning and I'm still cold. So, luckily, I keep a sweater in my bottom drawer at work at my desk, and so I toss that on. Like, okay, I'm good now. Of course, you know, I'm out on the sales floor doing stuff, and it's kind of wacky, but you know, I was comfortable today once I actually put my sweater on. So that was my day. How was yours? So it was actually pretty good. Very busy, very busy. We're obviously still in the midst of preparing for back to college and just kind of getting everything in. I need to figure out where I want this camera to be. So that will be the next thing, of course. We're going to bring the art back. I'm going to bring this down here. And let's see what this sees. Okay, yeah, this is much better. It's actually really capturing and this is the 920. So this is actually really no, this is the 270. I'm sorry. This is the 270 that's looking over the art. So this is really getting a really good shot of the work. I'm gonna move this thing out of the way now. Because what I'll end up doing is, I don't think I'm gonna use this as the camera that will be overlooking the art. It doesn't really have the wide angle that I want to capture the entire thing, but it definitely is getting like a really crisp picture. So I like that. So that's good. Oh no. Ink, come back. Okay. Meanwhile, you are seeing everything on my desk right now. I'm gonna put that back up there. You will just have to be... Yeah, that's what it's getting, and... Alright, so it's getting that. Let me take the other camera, that one, camera 2, or camera 1, your camera 1, but, switch, whatever. And then we're going to see if this is going to get me the wide angle that I want for this. Yeah, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do. So the 920 will definitely be the new desk camera, I guess. The one that captures the art that I'm working on. So just kind of doing this reset up thing. Let's just go ahead and set all this stuff up properly. Move that out of there. Sure, that's the one. We are going to disconnect this other one here. So let's look at that one. Yep, we'll disconnect you. Ah, sorry, hitting the wrong things. All right, so we're gonna take that, and no, that's not what I want. No. Put you. No, just you. Whatever, just get right there. And then I need to bring in the other one. C270, perfect. Put that there. Ah. So I was worried originally about this new camera, but I guess I don't need to be. It's perfect. It's exactly what needs to be here. I'm gonna nudge that one up. I don't need to be quite so big. Okay. And then this thing, I'm gonna close that up. And remove it. I sure do. And I can use this for anything else. I don't know which camera to even look in right now. You can use this for anything else. Let's put this aside. It was great while it lasted. But now I have to, and we get to do something different. I will grab this and unplug that later and pack it up later, and maybe like I said, I'll just do something different with this camera, I think. Hey, Generic, how you doing? How is everything going? Everything is going just fine. I am now working with 2 cameras on my face right now, so I'm trying to just rearrange a few things. How are you? How's it going? I'll do that. I'm literally moving things around, so if it's a little wild, and it's all that's happening right here. Okay, so that's not quite what I want, but doing well. Progress is being made with tech support trying to get it sorted before FlameCon. Oh yeah, I saw the tweet about that a minute ago. I think I'm gonna be at work while that's happening. I don't want to miss it, but like I'm literally scrolling Twitter right now and trying to find where I saw that tweet because I thought I liked it. What do you need to do to get yourself set up? If you do, there's always a VOD. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I will definitely have to check that out if I miss it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out which camera to look into right now. I've got one staring me right down my eyes, and the other one is just kind of off to the side, like a gentle, polite thing. Do that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. That's perfect. I love it. Do that. As far as I know, it's going to be a Zoom call that is then placed behind an overlay. Nice! Very nice. It's so funny because wasn't like a week ago or maybe a month ago or something, you know, people were talking about how Zoom is like unstable and, you know, it's dangerous to use because of, you know, it's the security features with it allow just kind of anybody to just kind of, you know, log into a Zoom meeting. I'm sorry, this is gonna be disorienting. We'll do that. Make that a little less disorienting. And then, like, you know, I'm still seeing people using it. I keep looking over here for the camera. But then it turned out, like, people were just, you know, not practicing safe behaviors with private links and things. It's sort of standard with streaming. Okay. Security flaws as with any software, but it's sort of standard with streaming. I hear ya. I am not the tech person. So, like, literally everything I know is just what I've learned from talking to other people. It's kind of listening to conversations and just learning as I go. For most D&D shows that earn Critical Role, we use Zoom or Discord. Nice. Panels and the like. So, I've already had issues with putting this particular camera on this clamp. And that the mounting hole, I don't really know what to call it, comes out. The mounting screw The place where this mounting screw goes into. I don't know the terms. So I always have problems with this thing. It's probably going to fall out. And I will be very, very upset. But that's there. It's not going to be moved around a whole lot. Yeah, I was always curious about how those shows happened. Like how they managed to get everybody, you know, streamed into one I keep looking for the camera over here. How they managed to get everybody streamed into one channel like that. So that's kind of cool. Oh my god, it's not break time. I don't know why that thing keeps doing that. I need to turn off that timer. Reset it or something. To be fair, I am self-taught with everything. I have no formal background in media production. Hey, you know what? Neither do I. So, neither do I. So, what do I know? So, I hear that. Alright. This actually looks really good. Now it's just upside down, so we're gonna do a quick thing here. Transform. You're backwards. Okay, perfect. Now you can see what I'm doing. I mean, I think to be a broadcaster, especially on Twitch, like if you're gonna do it, you're gonna be an amateur at media production, unless you actually are a trained professional in it. In which case, hey, you have a leg up on all the rest of us here who are just kind of doing this for fun or just as an early start to a career that, you know, we're trying to have. So I don't really know of too many people who are on Twitch that are actual, like, trained media professionals in that way. Just stuff I picked up from existing on the internet for several years. Yeah, I think that's a lot of us, personally. I think that's a thing. I think it's a very common thing. So I don't think we need to discredit you simply because, like, oh, well, you're an amateur, what do you know? No, it's like, I think that's a lot of us. And, you know, we end up making, I mean, I think that's how any real decent career starts. You know, you're just kind of an amateur thing, so, and then you'll learn as you go and you pick up stuff. So, yeah, I think that's exactly how that should be. So, yes, I love it. What I don't like is the fact that that's, like, right there. I need this centered, or at least over this a little more. So the interesting thing is that this camera now picks up everything in crisp, clear detail when all I really need to do is just that. Okay, so I have to watch and be very careful with how this camera is now mounted onto this tripod. Like I said, this thing usually pops out that, like, mounting hole, the screw enclosure. I don't know what I'm saying. The whole thing just usually falls apart. So I'm going to be very, very careful with it and just kind of make sure that it's secure. But I'm not likely to move this around a whole lot. So we'll see. But that should be good. Should be good. But yeah, I'm excited about FlameCon. I am very, very excited about that. I still have to find that tweet. So I thought I liked it. And I did. I will go ahead and I will retweet that for you, friend. Saturday, August 15th. definitely share that around. There we go. Okay. So that's that. I need more light in this scene. In my room, actually. So let me do a thing real quick. I'm kind of low tech. I just use the lights and lamps that I have around me to make sure that I'm getting enough light into my room and onto what I'm working on. So that was step one, setting up the cameras properly. And I'm very happy with what I've got. Everything is so crisp and clear. Like, look, you can actually see detail. Let's take a look at all the work that I've been doing for the past couple of months. And like, oh look, you can actually see like the lines and everything, the details that I've been doing. It's actually able to be seen. So I'm happy now. I'm very, very pleased with that. So I guess I'm not taking this camera back. It is mine now. It gets to stay. So I guess that means the box can go. Yay. To be fair, I'm also low tech. I use literally one lamp and a webcam. See, like, I use these two webcams and I have a lamp over here just so I have like immediate desk light. And then I have a tall standing lamp to my left so that I'm getting a different light from a different source coming. And I've also got a lamp right here, just to actually give more light on my face. So I'm also in front of a window, but usually when I'm streaming at night, like I start my streams at 7 p.m. Like in the summer, yeah, there's still plenty of daylight to use, and I have my window open, so that's what's shining right on my face. And then, but as it gets darker, my face starts to get a little obscured. It gets darker in here too. And then I have the actual room light that I specifically kitted out with high wattage, like blue daylight light bulbs, because I like that color, especially when I'm working. It's super bright. I'll give you an example. Let me actually turn that on. That. So, but because I'm like right in front of that light, obviously you're getting more of my shadow directly onto the paper. So this is literally my setup. I don't have quite the budget for all the other lights and lighting equipment that some other streamers have. But you know, I think that also came from like months and months of collecting and, you know, people donating to streamers and, you know, just kind of helping them fit out their whole setup in a way that works. So I'm trying to just, you know, do this on my own budget, just kind of collecting things as I need them, as I see them. I'm like, okay, let's do this. To be fair, Herb is literally streaming from a couch. Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not hurt about it. You know, I will collect all my things as I need to and just go from there. I think he also said he's also using a Logitech webcam. So, I mean, what works, works. I'm not really stressing out about it because, like I said, my lighting setup works right now. It took some time to get here, but I'm making do with what I've got, and that's just where I am. So, yeah, you know, most people are not streaming from, you know, I happen to have my own office where I can do this in. Some people are, like, as we said, he's sitting on his sofa doing this. So, you know, most people just kind of make do with what they've got. It is what it is. And I think that's really cool that, you know, people are able to turn this into, you know, turn their own spaces into that place where they can just kind of hang out and just do this. So I think that's super cool, and that's what inspires me a lot about streaming, is that you can just, you know, it's kind of a come as you are kind of thing. I think that's super cool. It's very cool. So that's that. I do want to get to a couple of pages today, tonight if I can, but what I really, really want to do is an ink study. And what I mean by that is I want to do some paper, a drawing. Take this whole thing away. That really didn't change anything. So what I wanted to do tonight, I wanted to do a couple of things. So the first thing I was thinking of doing last night was actually doing more character drawings in general. I need to sit up. And just kind of doing some costume work. There are a few characters in the book whose outfits just don't really work the way I originally envisioned them, and I'm kind of annoyed by that. And it's my own design, so I'm annoyed with myself. But I want to kind of freshen that up and make them actually look like something before I actually do ink them in. So the other thing that I wanted to do was do an actual study of rendering. So if you're not familiar with it, my understanding anyway, rendering is, as a person an artist will, an illustrator, will have a complete drawing, and then kind of what you see in comic books, especially with the blacks, the black line art and the darkest black parts of the drawing itself, which add the depth. That's what I kind of wanted to do. We'll see, because I'm super ambitious right now. I'm feeling very, very ambitious. We'll see what I can actually get through. First thing I want to do though is let's take a look at what we can do for some character designs, costume designs, because I absolutely have to do that more than anything. Let's find some paper to use. This paper will do. So let's start with the sages. So I'm going to start and show you what they originally looked like. It wasn't pretty. The original sages were all female, so I'm just going to give you generic they were created at a time when female superheroes all basically wore like either a one-piece or a two-piece bikini to, do their superheroing in. So some of it was informed by that aesthetic and just kind of expanded upon to actually put them in real clothing, but again, it was basic. I was in high school at the time. Cut me some slack. Oh, that's the other thing. I have emotes. Yes, the emotes work. I almost forgot. So, you know how I'm always saying, I'm never really ready for a stream. Let me see. Hopefully it's in here. Because I know I just saw it. It was in here. Oh no. I need to do a thing. Just to make sure I can get the thing. Oh, that's fantastic. I can't even find my own damn emotes. Okay, yeah, here they are for some reason. I don't know why. So you know how I'm always saying, I'm never ready, ever never ready. Well, guess what? There it is. There it is. Ever never ready. That is now an emote. So I thought it was kind of cute, kind of funny. I think I have that set as like my T2. I think. Finally, first emote. And then there is this one. I have to figure out like where I have that because I cannot remember where I have that. Like what level those are. Let me come back in here real quick. I'll figure it out. Thanks for the follow, generic nerd. Appreciate it. So then you probably have access to that, which is a good thing. Okay, so that is actually, so Ever Never Ready is actually a tier 2 emote just because I made all three of them and I just wanted to kind of get them into the thing. So the next one, this is the actual T1 emote that, you know, pretty much everybody's going to have access to, which I dig. It says, get it. Get it. So I kind of made that a thing a few streams ago. A couple streams ago. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the thing I've been saying. At least maybe not here, but I have been saying it. So it's kind of my own little catchphrase. So I decided to put that in an emote. With one of the characters from the comic that I'm working on. And the last one is a tier 3 emote. Like I said, just because I wanted it in there. Once I actually have more emote slots open up, then we'll start to see these actually, you know, kind of fill in the T1s a little more, and I'll change them out in the T2 and T3, so we have something a little special. This one, which was the one I was super proud of having, it says magic, which is one of my things. I like magic, so I dig it. Featuring yet another one of the characters from the comic that I am working on. So those are all there. All my badges are done. So, like, the badge changes over the course of a subscription lifetime. So those are all there. They're all uploaded. They exist as their own thing. I'm super excited about having them. The next thing that I really want to do, though, is we have the what's it? The moving image, the GIF. There we go. Whenever somebody subscribes or they follows, I'm gonna work on my own animation to actually put in there, my own sounds to put up there too. So that's gonna be a thing at some point. Dear streamer, I see you're making a comic. I do wonder what is the topic. I hope it's a turtle jumping over a hurdle. I see you don't have a hydrate button. So here that makes turtles summon. This uncoordinated rhyme is coming to an end, so I just wanted to tell you you're a legend. I am Lucky Turtle. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Oh no, get it, it's not showing up. Alright, we'll have to figure out what's going on with that one. Actually, it showed up here, so that's strange. Like, I'm looking at two different screens right now that show my emotes, so where I shared them. So, to answer your question, the comic is about a group of... I need to work on this pitch. So right now, it's about a group of siblings who realize that they all have the same divine ancestry. And that's just the first initial book, basically the intro book. And each set of characters has their own storyline that follows after that book. So this first book is just that. It is, oh, these characters come together in a dream to fight a nightmare, and they find out that they have shared mystic ancestry, with the same grand ancestor as their mother. So that is what this first book is about. Everything else that comes after that is basically picking up from the end of that book and going into their own respective stories. So for the one character, it's basically about his life with his partner and his friends, and, you know, kind of how you know, where his life is going, because he's also the oldest person of the group. You know, it's a whole lot, and I haven't narrowed down the whole thing, but his whole story goes back hundreds of years into the history of his people on his world, and so it's just kind of carrying through from that. It's set in modern day world. The next character in the story is a futurist story, and it's basically taking this particular character, a different character, and putting him into the future, some far off time in the future. But like, it's still very science fantasy. You know, we're fighting dragons, but we're doing it with highly advanced weaponry. And then the next story is a more way back when story, more historical piece. So I've been kind of musing about this whole thing, and I just said, you know, it's gonna happen. And it's just basically these two sisters who are freedom fighters. So it's just kind of following their story in a kind of post-colonial world. So that's kind of where the settings are, and I'm going to be doing a lot of work around them, just kind of getting their backgrounds and everything done for the next year. So, you know, the rest of the year and into next year after this comic is done, I'm going to be working on just those character designs and those story designs, and just kind of getting them all together and making sure that, you know, everything, I do my research, and I've got my references done. A few streams ago, we all learned that I can't draw dogs. So I'm going to be doing some research on dogs and making sure that I can at least get basic animal anatomy figured out. But let's get back to this character. Tonight, I am doing just some character costume designs. So the first thing I'm going to be working on right now is what these particular characters used to look like. Not the ones from the comic. Well, they are in the comic, but they're, you know, side characters, so. I think that's... I gotta figure out where... Yeah. So I'm trying to think of, you know, just kind of what I had them looking like. It sounds very promising. I hope so. I mean, it comes from the childhood storytelling. So, you know, when I was a kid, I used to write stories about all of these people. My cousin and I used to have our own roleplay sessions that were not related to Dungeons and Dragons. So, I mean, we fancied ourselves young actors back then. But I've always been fascinated with magic and storytelling. So. So this is just kind of what they used to look like. Let me move this up so you can actually see what, you know, kind of went on with their outfits. And this is kind of the look that I'm working from with in the pages of the comic book right now. You draw very well, better than my stick figures. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now about stick figures. That's how all artists started. We all started doing stick figures. Like, if you were to look back at my art when I was a kid, just getting into drawing, that's literally all I did. But you know, I took a lot of inspiration from the comic books that I was reading at the time and said, I can do that, and I just kind of copied that. That's what a lot of it starts out as, just kind of basic mimicry of the people that we see who are, you know, masters of their craft. Not just professional artists, but I'm spitting all over the place. People who are very, very good at what they do, you know, at that level of skill. We just kind of mimic them, and that's how I advanced as an artist. I said, well, I want to do what they're doing. And so I just started doing that, and that's kind of how I've just taken art. So, you know, but again, the stick figures, that's how we all start. Stick figures are really kind of the basic. So, like, a lot of us still use stick figures just to lay out, you know, it's kind of actually how this whole thing started, was just as a stick figure. Look, there it is, stick figure. So the next step, of course, is just to take that to that next step. So now you're going to be adding, you know, maybe you're adding just the basic shape of the body. And you're just drawing tubes at this point, and circles, or tubes and spheres. And then next you're connecting all that together. Drawing your detail lines in. You know what the hands are supposed to look like. They're just kind of little blobs or balls on the ends of sticks themselves. But you're drawing all your connecting lines, and then you can draw your details. Like, this is a female, for instance. Let's not forget to draw her feet in here. And before you know it, you keep layering on like that, and you end up with a full image. So stick figures is the beginning. Your next step is to add on your shapes that round out the rest of the body. So, Geek, how's it going? Yes, get it, get it, get it. I love it. I'm glad you see that. You have an emo. I do. I do. And I'm very, very happy that I do. It took a while. I'm really, really excited. I see your emotes are there too. Nice. Okay, so I don't want to focus on that one. They turned out so well. Your emotes look amazing. I do love them. Those are fantastic looking. Like, I've seen some really, like, the artists who are making emotes for streamers these days are just fantastic at what they do. They have such a handle on the amount of space it takes to communicate the idea of what the emote should look like and all the elements that go into it, and they keep everything looking as one unified package. So, you know, you can say, hey, I just need this T1 emote that I want to add, and I want to start off in my collection, and then if you keep going back to them, it's like, hey, I want something that looks like this too, that's related to that. And they just create such amazing work. And that's, when it comes to my emotes, I did all my own, and that's kind of the level I aspire to just kind of have them follow that same theme. But like, I just love yours so much. They're just adorable, first of all, and like, you got an artist who really knows their craft. That's top notch. That's fantastic. I gotta figure out how the rest of this outfit should look. That's right. So we had, for whatever reason, I had this like weird opening here or something. I don't know what I was doing. Remember, I was a kid at the time when I created these people. Made up these characters, so... Just a little flip down the ends there. And there we go. So that's the basic original design. Again, being a kid, creating my own characters in a comic book for a comic or whatever storytelling that I was doing, you know, people see this work and they're like, oh, that's super cool, you're super talented, you've got you know how to make a character, and you know they look great. And then, you know, the adults are like, yeah, that's great and all, but you've got this problem and that problem. Like, the adults in my life, they were supportive. Let me not get that mixed up. Let's not get that twisted. But, you know, again, some of them had a much more keener eye on, you know, just what it was I was creating, especially my art teachers. So, you know, they saw my work and said, you can go so much further, so let's take these designs further. And I think what it really came down to was, you know, it's like they're very basic. They're basic ideas of, you know, what I think my interpretation of a superhero character should look like. And that's just kind of what you end up with. But there's a number of things that go into that. First of all, the costuming. Second of all, just the actual structure of the character. This very static pose. I mean, yeah, she's got the hip out, the hand on the hip and all that, but that's not really kind of action-packed. It doesn't really say anything about the character. It just says, hey, here's this character just kind of posing. Which is, it has its own place. Like, let's be real. That definitely has its own place. But in character design, we also want to show a character that is about something, that has an attitude and a personality. And that just comes down to the way they move. So, you know, the other thing you start to see artists doing is like, yeah, we start to kind of mimic the poses. We adopt the poses ourselves. We flesh out the character's personality. We figure them out. For me, starting out, all I had was just ideas of who these characters were, and I drew their faces and their hairstyles, and that's really where a lot of that went. A lot of that energy went in the margins of my notebooks. And so after that, it's like, okay, I'm at a point now where I can see what I've got, and now as an adult, I'm looking back at my work, and I'm just like, I need to change your designs, because, you know, we live in a very different world, and I've grown up as a person to know that this design was fun when I was a kid, but being a professional in the industry, even as an indie artist in the independent artist industry, requires and demands that I move beyond just basic ideas of the two-piece bikini for a female character. You know, me as an artist, what I learned in art school was, you know, and it's not something that was necessarily taught to me by my teachers, but is more something I picked up is that, hey, I mean, a little bit was taught. The other part of that is just kind of things I noticed. You know, I was challenged, let me put it that way, to push my work to the next level, to say, you know, that's great what you have here, but what are you doing with this? What more can you do with this? You know, you've got these great characters, but what else? So I look at this and I say, this was how these characters came to life originally. This is where they started. The next thing to do is figure out, you know, who they are and where they're going. So now, let's take a look. Let's just play around with some ideas of, you know, what these characters could actually be wearing in the comic. So, we're in a different place now. As I said, I've grown as an artist to be able to recognize and realize, like, hey, that look is kind of problematic. We don't always want our female characters running around in two-piece bikinis. Like, that's not doing anything. You know, it's not really protecting them. If we're expected to believe that these characters are going into battle, how are they protected in a two-piece bikini? Like, what is that actually doing? Oh, well, it's got armor on it. Yeah, but it's still a two-piece bikini. What is that doing for anybody? So we start to think about actual clothing that they may wear. So we'll maintain a simple pose. And I say simple pose, but this is a much more dynamic pose than what I start off with. Like I said, we start off with a stick figure. That's the word I'm looking for. Start off with a stick figure. So this is the part now where just kind of using plot twist, the bikini has pockets. Right. So we'll start off with just using this as like some basic inspiration. I'm going to reference this because maybe I want to keep some elements of that. That looks awful. For stick figure, that looks awful. And then I'm just gonna add in some lines to show our layering here. So she's got kind of this twist going on right in here. So it's more of this kind of twist. It feels like it'd be almost worse. The promise of a pocket with zero usefulness. I fly. Yes, exactly. I think you're right about that. It's kind of like the pockets that some women do actually have on their pants. It's just you can fit a piece of paper in it, or maybe an eraser. It still does nothing for anybody. It's not like the pockets you're going to get a pair of men's jeans, which are deep and wide. You can stuff all sorts of things in them. I have 3 pairs of pants that are like that, and I hate it. It's too much pocket for me. So I don't carry a whole bunch of stuff in my pockets because it irritates my leg. But no, it's, it's the truth. It's, it's just men get a lot more in the way of pockets on their pants. I don't know why that is. I don't know who thought that was the thing, but, Alright, so now we're gonna... So we've got this twist in there. So now we can connect everything here. So we're just gonna... I'm just gonna put in... just connect all the lines. I'm not worried about detail of what the character is wearing just yet. I just want to get in basic body. So now that twist makes a little more sense. Also not going to worry about the hair. It's the first rounded ears I've drawn in a while. So, excuse me. There is an obvious difference between a man's body and a woman's body. However, both are constructed in very much the same way. you start with a stick figure, you add on your layers of meat and flesh, and then you can refine out the details. But how you're building them the same way, but you're using different parts to build them. I wonder if I can get this right. So, like, an average male's waist and midsection body is very much a box. It's basically that simple. Tend to be very slim. Like, you always have, like, I wouldn't even say there's exceptions to the rule. There's variance to the expectations. But in most, not even just drawings, but like in most observations of people, you're going to get a lot of variation in body shape and how the bodies are built. So there are men who have that more of an hourglass shape, and there are women who have more of an upper body, more physically filled out upper body than they do, the lower parts. So, as we say, top heavy, which I hate. It sounds gross. But, so let's say a man's waist, just for the sake of argument here, this is what he would look like. More triangular shoulders, or trapezoidal, which is really the shape that it should be, but much more square in the hips. Meanwhile, the female, she's constructed right, will still, of course, have the trapezoidal upper body, but a kind of reflecting that trapezoid shape in the lower body as well. And this is not a rule for drawing, but tends to be how a lot of male and female characters tend to look. If you were to actually observe human people, you can see some of that shape in a lot of the builds of the average person. But then, like I said, you'll also see some variation of that. There'll be maybe a little less of a cinch, and some women can occasionally have the more squarer hips. It just, once you have that basic definition down, then you can start to vary it up in different ways. So we can do that. So now that we have this looking that way, we can start to layer in other details. So let's go back to what she's wearing here. I mean, there's some things that I like about this outfit, and there's just some things that I don't. So I'd rather see her, all of these sages, in outfits that are not quite so revealing, that are actually meant to be clothing and not just a costume. For them, it should look more like a uniform. So we want, let's say, here's an idea that I saw kind of use for some. We'll give her big puffy shoulders. And then we need to follow the contours. Actually, maybe we won't. Well, you know what? We'll figure it out. Put that jacket in there just like that. So now she's in a jacket. Really cool jacket. That's a little flare detail right there. So that's her upper body. We'll actually draw this with my mechanical pencil so we can see that a little better. Do that. Gotten used to just adding in random scribbles when I want to draw wrinkles, and it works out. And then, so what should she be wearing as like her bottom? So maybe we want to keep it to pants. They don't necessarily have to be tight fitting. But we'll do that just because, it's the expected, I guess. Actually, you know what? Where's my eraser? Got a better idea. One of our characters is actually wearing this exact outfit. One of the main characters for this series, so let's actually draw in that way. Because it's a cool outfit. I actually did end up putting them in tights, but like I said, wearing the same exact thing, with just some subtle changes and variations. Actually, and this is why I wanted to do some character design today, so I can actually figure out exactly, what everyone should be wearing. We'll do that. And then we'll keep this similar design to what I have for the boots. So we'll do that. Now, she's not wearing a bikini. She's wearing tights, which is probably just as worse. But what we're also not seeing is the fact that, this is actually all, this is all one piece of the outfit. Is it the fix that the world has been waiting for when it comes to women's outfits and characterizations in comic books? No, it's not. It's not. However, is it better than this? Yes. Yes, it is. So me as an artist, I'm constantly looking at how can I make, you know, outfits and costumes that are, you know, much better than what they've ever been. Especially for me as a person who's designed them. I'm gonna do a thing like that. Do I think it's a cool design? Yeah, I do. It's so much better than what it was. Like I said, this is substantially better than that. Can it always be better? Absolutely. Absolutely. Am I the person to make it better? I hope so. These are my character designs, though. So it just comes down to what do I actually want to show off about these characters. So I like that outfit. I like that look. You know, it's got the jacket to it, so that adds some actual, like, fun, flowy, kind of a movable part of the outfit. The boots, I think, are really neat. If we're gonna have them be, you know, not black like the rest of the outfit, then they're gonna have to need to be the same color as this part right here. But then that gets us to what's happening with these. So we get to play around with some ideas. These little strips here on the boots. Maybe we take them away, or maybe we just say, hey, that's actually a really great flare for that outfit. Maybe we'll do like an accent color. But then we want that accent color to show up somewhere else. So maybe we're going to say, I love just adding little things like that. Maybe a zipper or something, especially if the jacket is open. Maybe a zipper right there. That'll be the same color as these accents here. We'll find a way to include that accent maybe around the collar. I love playing with accent colors. Maybe we'll put, you know, kind of a similar strip on the shoulders here, just to really bring that look up. So now everything looks like it all belongs together. And then we can, you know, let the character express themselves through their hair. So we're going to draw the same character here. I'm seeing some other things take shape here, so maybe I'll just go with it. And there we go. So that is the outfit that the sages in the kind of like in-between parts of the story in this book will be wearing. So I like this outfit, so I'm going to stick with that. Next thing I want to do, I'm just going to tear this out of this book. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to put this aside. So I'm going to use this as like the basic of what that outfit looks like. That's drawing that character. That's drawing that outfit on a female. Let's draw that outfit on a male, because there are in fact male sages. Like as I grew older, I realized I had to have more male characters. I was well, maybe didn't have to. I was being teased a lot growing up about the fact that I always drew female characters. So, kind of at school, when I was in middle school, among other things to get teased about. I don't even know what pose to put him in. Doing these wild twists again. Actually, I kind of did this for another one of these drawings that I did, so maybe I'll just do that again so you can actually see some detail here. We're gonna make him kind of boring in a standing pose. No, we're not going to do that. I don't like that already. Sent you some day one thoughts of my new tablet. Nice, thank you. I will definitely check those out. I am definitely interested in getting a tablet, so we'll see how well that comes together. We'll go back to this pose here. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna commit to this one right here. A little poof going on back there. That is like the most awkward looking thing I've ever seen in my life. No, it's not, but it doesn't look right. That still looks awkward. I don't like that at all. Let's come up with something different. Like, I like the pose, and I do like challenging myself, but it's just, that's not coming together, and I want to keep this as easy as possible. So, let's see. Oh, here's big. No, I don't like that. That's better. That's better. Get this box body in. Legs, for some reason, are just messing me all up. Come here, pencil. Come hither. Oh, boy, excuse me. Okay. Okay, so that gets us here. Let's see how we can take this to the next level for this guy. Shoulders. It's so awkward looking. Just kind of floating off in space there. Let's bring them back to ground. Same thing there. That little detail. That curve helps give us some shape in that thigh. And you can tell how tight a pair of boots are by how much detail of the leg and the knee you can see. Probably want to fill that out a little more. I see we do not have a hydrate channel point. No, we do not. I have water sitting right here. I know to drink my water, unlike some of the rest of y'all. We're not doing that. I've seen too many things just kind of go wild. So I'm like, y'all can keep the hydrate to yourselves. I will always have water on hand, and I know to always take a drink when I need to. Because you know what? I have my grandmother's voice telling me, drink more water in my head. So I don't need a hydrate. So. Believe me, I got enough of that. I'm actually thinking about some really fun things to do with channel point redemption. So, like, maybe quick character sketch, which would be a nice break from whatever I'm actually already working on. I think would be kind of cool. So, but quick as in it'll take about, I don't know how, I haven't been timing myself for this, but, you know, maybe it'll take about 5-10 minutes to do. I don't know, maybe less. So maybe that'll be something. I do want to work on some other point redemption things I think will be really, really fun for what I'm doing here on this channel. And, you know, for you guys to kind of have a little more fun with it. So, like, maybe there will be a day, you know, where I'm just doing nothing but, like, random character drawings or point redemptions for, you know, stuff like that. So, we'll see. But I definitely have some ideas that I'm working through. Something that's vastly more interesting than hydrate. So we'll put it that way. That looks actually really good for character drawing that I had to draw a bunch of times. So now we'll shade in all the things that are supposed to be black. I've seen y'all going crazy for that hydrate thing. I'm like, nope, y'all can keep that to yourselves. I Everything I learned about streaming, I learned from watching y'all. So, note to self, no hydrate. Yep. We're gonna do... No, I don't like that at all. Okay, I dig that. There we go. And then we said we're going to draw the same little strips right there on the shoulders. Do that. And yeah, I think that actually should be over here. Okay. And there we go. So that's some costume design right there for you. Try and get both of them in here. Here we go. Here we are. So it is now 1:30. Been streaming for an hour and a half. I think I'm going to take a quick break here, but I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, sat here. I just put up the 2 drawings that I did. They are now on to the Instagram. So I did add the Illustrator Fantasies Instagram add-on or extension to the channel page, so you'll be able to see that in chat, and you'll be able to bring up my Instagram page, so you can find that there and see the 2 drawings that I just did here. So they are there now. I do still have more to do, so let's get on into it. What I need to do haha, I get to spam my own emotes in chat now, so there. Let me get back to normal. Let's bring it back down. So let's go ahead, and the next thing we need to do, so this is one of the main characters from the book that I'm working on. I need to get his ceremonial outfit right, because that let's take a look at what that looks like. Got this sash thing going on, and then what? I guess the rest is expected to just be this kind of skirt thing that he's wearing. That's kind of like what's happening here. I don't know. That is the problem. That is what I need to figure out. So let's see if we can figure that out. No, I don't want to do that. Let's actually, like, I want to put him in a pose. I want him to be dynamic and interesting. But I also just wanted to be just a basic look, so. Do that. That's too high. Round shoulder there. Maybe. Well, I can kind of keep what I had. his hand in here. Nipple, and we're just doing stuff now. I don't mean to make this a seductive image. Definitely don't mean to do that. It still looks like he's tweaking his nipple, so I mean, I guess that's just the look. Not be the look. We're gonna do something different here. We're gonna bring that hand down a little lower so that he's not tweaking his nipple. It's not a thing he should be doing on stream. Definitely not. So if I wanted to keep that little side sash thing going, we can make it a little more interesting. If we do that, puts him in an outfit that is a little more him, I think, and something that makes a little more sense. So I'll show you when I get in here for these details in a minute. Let me get the rest of his body actually on here. That. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about the hair right now, so let's just get the rest of the actual body in here. Much more square jaw. Bring down his neck and everything. Elbow in there. About that later. Let's get the rest of his outline going. Alright, so now we can actually start with what we've got here. So we want to keep that sash going. I'm going to bring that down this way. And just to follow the basic look that I've got for his ceremonial outfit. We'll do kind of like a tug line there, the crescent brooch that ties this whole thing together. We'll do something like that, just to add some extra flair to the design. Draw in just a couple of wrinkles up here, just again to show the tug. Like what I did with his feet down here, so we're gonna do something different down there, but we can definitely get this leg in. That's wrong. Let's get that foot right. You can't even see what I just did there. It's okay though. It's okay. You don't need to. Okay. So this isn't the best sketch tonight, but I think that's the idea for their ceremonial outfits is just to kind of keep it simple. Something that they can definitely move around in, because in this first book they're definitely moving around a lot. There's a lot of fighting happening, but to keep it simple, it actually almost does look like a towel. Especially on him. That's okay. Oh, it's covered up right there, so we do that. I like it. I like it as a basic design. Can it go further than that? Probably. If I wanted to go with something else entirely different, but I kind of like what's happening here with this. I wonder, would it make sense to make this longer? I mean, it doesn't really have to make sense to be longer, but I don't know what I just did there. I like the basic thing of what's happening here. So let's say it's kind of going up like that. So like this outfit allows for him to have a range of movement, and that's just how his character is. His character is a lot more active, does a lot more physical things. So I think that works for him. I like it short. I like it short. Let me see. Actually, the other thing I could do that I think would be kind of interesting, maybe instead of having it go that way, which I think is an interesting cut for clothing. Is to have it come around like this. The outfit that his brother and sisters wear is much longer, and has like this really flowy look to it. And I feel like his outfit should have that flowy look to it too. That long gown thing going on. I think his ceremonial garb should have something like that going on too. So yeah, we can keep the sash thing going, and then we just turn it into this. It wraps around and just kind of connects, like ties itself right up in here. And that's what the crescent pin is for. And of course all these little elements right here. So that's what that is. So I think that works. That works. Alright, so I'm trying to think if there's any other character drawing that I want to get through tonight. I've gotten Sage's, oh yeah, the Grand Ancestor herself. I gotta figure out what she's wearing too. That's just not a good look. To have their mother just like not put all together. Like I came up with some things that I thought really worked. So let's take a look at what that looked like. So I was really kind of getting into it. There we go. That. I want more of this. This flow, the big hair. That is her. That is who she is. So let's take a look at some of these elements that I've got for her and actually turn them into something here for her. Because I'm going to be going back over all of these pages again just to put in those details that are missing. No. Do something different. She should effectively look like a mermaid. No, I don't like that pose. I like what I was doing before. Let's go back to that. It was a good angle. Some good stuff happening there. I changed my mind on the fly a lot. Oh my god. Well, ew, okay. Like, what is going on? Sorry, like, I got distracted by a Discord notification. Like, what is happening? But we still want to kind of keep with kind of the mermaid look, so she should still definitely have that big hair. Maybe not that big, but big hair. And wings. So this is Tirana Colleen, the grand ancestor, red patron goddess of the Ternathi people on this world and all the others that they have ventured to. I do want to eventually tell a story about her and the other grand ancestors. Figure that out. Stuff should definitely flow. this. We'll add some wings to her crown as well. Lots of jewels. She's gonna get her hoop earrings. Most of all, in any drawing that I do of her, she should look divine. She should look like a goddess. Can you see what I'm doing? Kind of, sort of. Let's go ahead and get him with our mechanical pencil here, so you can really see what's happening. Very flowy things here. I kind of wanted to do for her hair, you know, a part of me thought that, you know, maybe I should, you know, do a little more to put her hair in some kind of style, you know, kind of word that up. But honestly, fro is a style, and I like how she looks in it. I like what that looks like on her. So I was gonna keep it. ribbon thing. So, yep, here she is. There's our beautiful grand ancestor, goddess of magic herself, Ein Tirana Queen. Here we go. Alright, so now that we have her look down, so there's a lot of flowiness happening here. The goddess of magic. Does she get just one ribbon? No, she can have as many as she wants. And they can just kind of go wherever they want to go. Actually, I'm going to do this and bring the hair down just a smidge. There we go. Okay, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That looks so good. Okay. And I also gave her like these little wing things, but I think I'm going to turn that into the ribbons here. I'm going to add something to maybe her shoulders. Just some ornamentation here on her skin, on her arms, so something else there. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to take this out too. So now we've got that going. Got love. Okay. Start doing some other stuff. Oh, I'm at the end of this book. Ooh. There's some other drawings in here. Let me see, what do I think is worth showing? Oh. I think that was kind of an early concept for Tirana. Until just by the hair and the crown and all the flowy things happening there, so... Yeah, that definitely is exactly what this is. This is an early concept for Tirana. Okay. What else do I got here? Another early concept sketch for different trio of characters. That do still exist. I just never did anything with them. So, what else we got in here? I think this was an early Tirana sketch as well. Some of these things I can still actually do something with. I was having difficulties here with the legs, and I don't know what was going on, why I was having difficulty, but I was. Paint test. This is just a early figure model. I don't know what was happening here. This is a slender person. Aha! I have no idea who this was supposed to be, or do I? Oh, you know, I think I do. This is one of the characters from one of the comics, from one of the stories. So, you will see her. She will definitely make an appearance. She's actually pretty important. And here she is again. Look at that facial expression, man. Thankfully I can actually do this. You can actually see, oh, if I just put this up close a little bit, you can actually see some detail. I love it when I have a camera that does what it's supposed to do. Yep, that was definitely her. Because here she is again. This time in a more historically accurate, for the world that she's in, outfit. This was the lead up to, let me see if I can find it. Probably not. But I did, off camera. Here you are. Sure. That's supposed to be this outfit here. That was an early sketch that was leading me to this. So that's why that looks the way that it does. This is what that started off as. And then in a recent piece, you saw me add some different elements to it. So, yeah, that's an outfit that has definitely developed over the course of a handful of years. Yeah, a couple of years. It was a couple of years. When did I finish this one? Last year, actually, so it was a handful of months. There we go. What else we got in here? Oh yeah, this is literally the studies that I did for this piece. So here's this guy right here. Here's his sketch. Some things have changed. What else we got in here? Yep, here's another one. So this guy right here is now way back here. I don't know why I always put him in the background like that. He's always like way off in the back somewhere. We're gonna start bringing him up. Like actually doing stuff with him. What else we've got? This was kind of an early first painting that I did featuring our primary character who now sports white hair. I don't really know what I was going for here. It's kind of got this retro, almost psychedelic thing going on, which is cool in its own way. This is definitely watercolor. So, yeah, that's that. And then everything else is, there's really not a whole lot else going on in here. Just some face studies that I did. Just kind of narrowed down my anatomy. A placing study for the 5-panel piece that I'm still kind of working on, but may scrap. And then everything else is just like me testing out colors. Oh. And there's this warm-up that I did that I know for a fact I've done on screen. So that's that. What else is in here? Nothing that you need to see. That's what's in there. Alright, so we've done some character sketches. I actually wanted to get to some pages tonight, but I don't think that I will. Let me see, what time is it? No, I don't think I'm going to get to many pages tonight. So, we've actually gone for 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to call it here. I did want to kind of keep going and get some other stuff done, but I'm tired. So I do want to step off of here and kind of go explore and enjoy what other people are doing. I do want to do that. So let's check out, let's see what other people are got going on. Let me find a fun channel to raid. Give me a moment. You guys like Apex Legends? I got a couple people here who are playing some Apex right now, and I think that'd be kind of fun. Go hang out with them for a little bit. So that's what we're gonna go do. So let me get back into this thing. So as always, thank you everyone for coming by and hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. Geek, Fly, Unlucky Turtle, you guys amazing. Generic Nerd, thank you so much for stopping by as well, and that follow, I appreciate that. Always helps out. So right now we are going to go raid our good friend Solid Rain. We're gonna go hang out with him for a little bit while he is playing Apex Legends. Hopefully he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's head on over there. Bam! Thank you so much. I didn't even know you were in here. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Alright, let's get on over to Solid Rain, and we're gonna have some fun with some Apex Legends. Alright guys, have a good one. You guys have my emotes. We'll make some fun ones up for when we're raiding too, so I'll see you guys later. Let's get this ball going. Thanks guys, have a good night.